Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Health Movement Podcast. I am Derek, two-sport collegiate athlete, certified personal trainer, and a teacher of over 20 years.
I'm Tim. I'm a certified athletic trainer and a nationally registered EMT slash wellness coach.
There you go. And with us today, we have another guest. They just keep rolling in, and this one is equally as awesome as all the rest. We have Lindsay Hassay with us. Did I pronounce that correctly after we went through it beforehand? Okay, as we were saying it, I'm like, uh-oh, I messed it up, but good. I'm glad I didn't. Lindsay, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited for this opportunity.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we talked a little bit beforehand, and it seems like there is a wide range of things that you are excited to talk about. I didn't know if there was anything in particular you wanted to start with, or I can just dive in with a few questions.
Let's dive in. Yeah, nothing specific at all. Yeah, just go.
Okay. I did see, and this is just because we have Thanksgiving coming up in a couple days. This is recording the Monday before Thanksgiving. And I did see you had the Thanksgiving survival guide on your Instagram feed there. Can you give us that little survival guide or what you remember off the top of your head?
Absolutely. Yeah, it was meant to just be kind of fun and playful and relative to like the week of Thanksgiving. I think a lot of people put a lot of stress on themselves and into the week, and you just shouldn't. It's meant to be a week of thanks, a week of, food, thanks, fun, so I put that with the intention of like how to survive Thanksgiving Day, essentially. Like, you spend a lot of time with your family, you eat a lot. Like, how do you get through that? A lot of people will like fast that whole day, like, oh, I'm just gonna save up for dinner. You know what I mean? Do not do that. Eat a light breakfast. It'll get your metabolism going, that kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
you don't restrict just to have a big meal later or whatever. And then, yeah, stay hydrated is super important. I mean, because you're going to be eating a lot of salty foods and high carb foods, and so staying hydrated is just important to keep everything kind of digestion going. That's kind of important with all the stuff you're eating. And then, yeah, heavy on the walks. Like, the walks get you away from the family. You spend a lot of time
You're allowed to do them
with
with the family too. That's also an option.
that's
But
very
yeah.
that's very true too. Yeah, for the folks that don't have it as easy as maybe we do, who do love spending a lot of time with our family. Well, and it can be overstimulating too. You know what I mean? Even with just the small
Oh,
family, it can
absolutely.
be. There's because it said you put a lot of pressure on yourself. So yeah, it was meant to just be kind of like a playful, like, hey, don't restrict yourself. Enjoy the week, and then, yeah, if you need to get out from your family, take a walk. It helps with digestion. It
Yeah,
makes
absolutely.
it's a win-win.
We'll see. It might be snowing up here on Thanksgiving, so I don't know if it'll be walking weather up here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Our
Lindsay, where are
snow
you? I
too.
forgot to ask.
I'm in Columbus, Ohio. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ohio.
Yeah. Oh
Love
yeah.
Columbus.
It's a great city. It's fun. We
So you
lived here
big,
for like
are you
six,
guys a
7 years.
big Browns fans over there? Are you Bengals fans?
Well, so my husband grew up in Parma, Cleveland, so he is everything Cleveland for sure, die hard. And then I grew up in Dayton, so we are basically Cincinnati fans. The Browns didn't come on a lot in Cincinnati, or in Dayton, I should say.
Hmm.
So then him and I kind of met here, and I've kind of grown to love the Browns. I feel for them as fans, a little. But they're so in love with their city and in love with their sport, and in love with their team. And like, I have never seen such devoted fans. Like, they go through, misery every year and they still
Oh,
come back.
absolutely.
You got to
You
appreciate that.
guys even had a movie where the Browns were the focus of it, Draft Day with Kevin Costner. I don't know if
Oh
that's a
yeah,
fan favorite
forgot
out
about
there.
that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fantastic movie. But of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
it's all about every year they're thinking it's the year and optimism is high and then you
Well,
get a few.
Yes.
there's a bigger game in Columbus this weekend, anyways, right? It's there's a lot of
Yes, that's
OH
right.
baby.
You guys know.
Oh
You
Yeah.
guys
yeah.
know. Yeah.
Well, we're Patriots fans, so we have probably the most famous Michigan alum as our as our quarterback, but it's all right.
You
I've
do.
always
So
been an
okay, so is that where your dedication lies then?
no, I've
Okay.
always been an Ohio State fan, so I'm a big Buckeyes fan, so
I
I'll
love
probably
that. That's so am
catch some
I.
flack for
So
that.
am I. It's the Michigan rivalry has kind of became interesting over the few years, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, up until last year, it was pretty one sided, but
Yes.
it should be an ass whooping this weekend. Sorry, Derek, but
No, you're
Oh
good, buddy.
God. Where's the
We'll
jar?
allow that
Get
one
out
in
the
there.
jar, the swear jar.
yeah,
So Lindsay, I've seen on your Instagram there's a lot of fitness content in there where you're doing a great job coaching and giving a lot of information to your followers. Is that something you've been doing for a while? Is it more recent for you that you got into the fitness world?
Ah, great question. Really started going full force with it probably a year ago. And I've seen a little bit of growth, but it's as you know, starting something from the ground up is a grind. And as long as you believe in yourself, it's gonna go somewhere eventually, you know. But yeah, fitness really became my passion. That's really where I found my passion, and so I really wanted to kind of just like shine that light onto others as well because it really brought me out of a bad place. So like I said, I've pretty much always lived an active lifestyle with some kind of lulls in between, due to life. But I had my daughter in 2009, and that's really when I hit it hard. Um, I had gained a lot of weight with her and had some postpartum problems. Like I know I watched yours with Sam Coops.
Yeah.
So, a lot of, like she said, it's the postpartum thing is really not talked about a lot. And that hit me hard too. And I honestly just started walking. I went to the gym and started walking on the treadmill because I was inexperienced. And I would kind of watch the other girls like lift the weights and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I want to do that. So it really just started with like walking at the gym. And then that kind of piqued my interest. I'm like, okay, I want to start strength training. So I started strength training. Um, and I did that for a really long time. And then recently found Pilates, which
Mm.
has transformed not only my mind but my body too. I mean, I had seen really good success with weightlifting, but it's different. It kind of just makes you inflamed almost a little, but where Pilates is more like a long, lean, toned look, if you will. And then what it does mentally too for you is real. I would recommend it to any woman, and you don't even have to go to a studio. You can look up videos on YouTube, or um, there's fitness apps and all that you can, So it's really like there's no excuse type of thing with me, like you can, if you have 30 minutes in your day, you can find something. And I guess that's really what I try to preach is like making fitness and food fun. You can achieve your goals. Having fun workouts. It doesn't have to be something you hate. And you can eat fun food while achieving goals. And that's really what I want to preach to women, to moms, to anyone really, that you can change your life, you can change your body, you can change all of those things through fitness and food. And it doesn't have to be chicken, broccoli, rice every single day. Yeah. So that's what I preach. Fun and balance over restriction. You don't have to restrict yourself of anything. So yeah,
I think
that kind
that's
of went
good, especially where
off track a little, but
no, that's right on track. And you had
yeah. Okay,
mentioned
good.
it takes a while once you get going, and it's a slow progression. But if the goal is overall longevity and better health and better fitness, that's a lifelong journey. So it's not something that's completed in 6 months and you have to, give yourself a deadline. And if you're not there, you failed. If you're a little better every day, or you learn something new, or you can teach something to somebody else, that makes a huge difference right there.
Absolutely, and that is my goal. Like if I can motivate anybody to like want to get in the gym that day if they're not feeling like it, to maybe want to prep some healthy food, to whatever it is, like that's my goal. Because I mean I think it's done more for me mentally than anything. Obviously you can, sculpt your body in any kind of way that you want with weights. But what it's done for me mentally is, I mean, because if you have the dedication to go every day and put your mind to that, then you can handle other things that come at you. It shows you discipline, it shows you regiment, shows you punctuality, so many things. So a lot can come. And that's when I love seeing the younger kids get in the gym too, because I'm like, yes, like you're starting, because I think of myself at that age, I'm like, that was the farthest place that I was at, you know. Which is why I'm so glad I found it later in life, because it's never too late. But I love seeing the young kids in there, because it's like, yes, you could be running amok out here, and you are exactly where you need to be, because with the passion for the gym and fitness comes so many other things in life that you can grow from. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's a good foundation. I like the way you talked about the progression of just showing up every day and walking on the treadmill and then progressing to, strength or resistance training, and that, just showing up and moving your body and starting somewhere. Everybody has to start somewhere.
That's
And
exactly.
walking is probably one of the best activities you could do for your body. You know what I mean? And I always see people that I think should be walking before they're running. I thought and it sounds
Literally.
funny, but it sounds funny, but it's as far as things that can lead you down the path of hurting yourself is doing something before you should be doing it, and laying that groundwork um with the walking and the strength training, and then leading into running or jogging or I think those are progressions where some people. And the other piece to that is like, you don't need any directions, just show up and walk, right? Like, you don't need the experience, or it's something you can do as a novice gym goer, and it gets you in the door, and it gets you used to the environment. And
That's
then
exactly right.
you're talking about younger kids too. And if you've got a daughter, if you got kids, and then they see you doing it, and then it creates a habit or an example for them. I mean, Derek and I both have kids, and it's something where um, we we're trying to set an example, and also be able to keep up with them. And
Yeah,
it's another
that's
thing where
That's
long
it's
right.
like,
gone for me. We were
Nonsense.
training. He had soccer tryouts, so we went running on the track together, and we did some laps first to warm up my old bones, and we were running hundreds, and it was like 80%, and then he's like, "All right, let's go all out." And it was
You're
I
like, all
kept
out.
up the first like 40 or 50, and then I started feeling the hamstrings tighten and everything else, and he just took off, and I was like, all right, I gotta concede here. He's faster. I'm still stronger for now. That'll be another year or two, and then he'll pass me on that one. He's got more
That's
hair
right.
no,
too, so
maybe
he's got it all.
maybe early 20s. Maybe early 20s.
Yeah,
It's
no, early 20s. Yeah, I got a few more
Yeah,
years.
he's still got some time to catch up for sure. Well, I think that's such an important part of it too, is the progression, because you see people that just go straight for, we call it in the fitness world, ego lifting. They're just,
Oh,
their form is absolutely terrible, but they're going for it anyway. That's the closest way, the fastest way to injury is just doing what you cannot do faster than, like you said, putting the cart before the horse, so to speak. It is. It's like lifting what you can't do if your body's not ready for it. That's just, you don't want it. You want to have health, longevity. That's what we do this for, is to run around with the little ones and the grandkids and the great grandkids and etc. So you don't want to constantly be. I mean, I always think of Ronnie Coleman. He was,
oh
you
yeah.
know, top bodybuilder and was injured from, like, I think he slipped a disc in his back or something. I don't want to be quoted on that, but I think he slipped a disc or something in his back and continued to train. And now he, is out for good. And it's like, yeah, like let's start slow, and I would give any beginner that advice, to start slow. Start with just showing up and walking. Don't think you have to be a runner, a lifter, a Pilates girl, a meal prepper. Don't do it all at once. Just start. Just show up and start. you know.
But
I
yeah, and have a holistic approach too. You know, you got to focus on your mobility, and you got to focus on your insufficiencies in the areas that you're not. I think everybody like, and I've said this before on here, but everybody likes to work on the things that they're good at or their strengths.
yeah.
But it's really working on your weaknesses and insufficiencies that are going to keep you healthy and keep you doing the things you want to do.
It's so true. Vitamins, supplements, that all plays a big factor too, because that's, our food is just so like it's stripped of all nutrients,
Oh.
it used to be good for us. It's not anymore. I could go on and on about that forever, but yeah,
Well, do
everything's
you,
high in sugar, high in fat.
Lindsay, do you track your food ever? Have you used like a tracking app or do you do that? Or
I,
have you in the
yes
past?
and no. Yeah, yes and no. I swear by them, absolutely. I tracked for a while. Um, I do it loosely now. Like if I have a
Yeah.
specific goal, I will track. And I think that like my Fitness Pal and those sort of apps are
Bless you.
revolutionary. I really do. Um,
Sorry.
so I loosely track now because I'm really I'm kind of at a maintenance a little bit right now.
Yep.
So I'm happy with where I'm at, and I've done it for a while that I can kind of eat intuitively and know where
Yeah,
my
yeah. You
percentages
don't
are.
have to do it forever. Once you do it enough, you can kind of understand the portions. But I saw
That's right.
an ad or something for, I'm going to sound like such an old man right now, but where it takes a picture of the food and it can, like, you can take a picture of your whole meal and it will tell you everything in there. And it's not 100% accurate all the time. I downloaded it and took a picture of a sweet potato tonight, and it told me it was a mango. So I had to adjust the camera angle a little bit. I'm like, no, that's not what that is.
Well, see,
But it
even
was,
AI is foolproof, right?
yeah, it's not foolproof. But I looked into just tracking food, and apparently people aren't very good at it either, unless you specifically weighing out everything. And then I saw the FDA allows, and maybe you guys already knew this, I didn't. The FDA allows a 20% variance on nutrition labels, so they can be off by 20%, and that's okay in their mind. Um, so who knows if it's not Whole Foods, if you're getting something out of a carton or out of a package, like you do the best you can, but that's that. I guess we say shop the perimeter, produce, the meats, that the frozen veggies, that sort of thing. And I guess if you do most of your food there, if 15-20% of your food is packaged stuff, then if it's off by 20%, it's not a huge deal. But it was a little eye opening when I saw that.
I mean, it makes you think like, what else are they lying to us about?
Mm.
you know,
Yeah, I don't
Goodness,
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
But that's a great tip as well for beginners. Shop the perimeter, because that's where you're going to find your produce, your dairy, your meats, stuff like that. That's a great tip. The only thing that I say too is like there's certain like pastas and rice and stuff like that that you can find in the middle aisle. That's okay,
Yeah.
but you just have to know like anything in the cereal aisle is probably gonna you probably want to stay away from. Anything in the
Check
cookie
you
and chips, yeah,
check your ingredients labels. You know,
yes,
that's the biggest
absolutely.
thing. Like the calories and stuff are different, but if your ingredients have whole ingredients, and it's not a 12-letter alphabet soup that you can't pronounce, then it's
Yeah.
it's probably okay. You know what I mean? It's
That's right.
um, and those are the kind of things that, and again, it's just knowing what to look for, reading the labels. I think that's the start. Is like if you're going to be looking in those areas, like you need to find the sources of things that do have the natural whole ingredients versus all the chemicals and all the processed stuff that's not so great for you. So, um, but I think those are the big things. Is just getting people to be aware about those things and start thinking about what you're putting in your body, and it's a lot of what we said on here before, but those are big pieces that I think it's so foundation, that's where your foundations start, and then you're going from building off of that too.
I did see
1000%.
I did see something that looked awesome, and I know Thanksgiving is coming up and we all get leftovers. And this is not really related, but we were talking about food and it made me think of it. But they took a muffin tin and laid out a pie crust on top of it and like pushed it in all the tins, then took all the leftovers and made little like turkey bombs with all the other stuff in it, put another one on top and folded it up. It looked so good. And
Oh
most
yeah,
of
I
that's
have
whole
that.
food too. If you figure you got your turkey and your corn and everything else in there.
That's
So,
right.
Tim, I think you guys should do that
Balance.
afterwards and let me know how it is.
I'm pretty hyped. This is my favorite holiday. It's
Oh, is it really?
you know
Oh,
it's Thanksgiving and 4th of July are my two, but
oh,
mostly
fun.
because of the food.
That's right. That's yes.
You
I'm
get to
with
wear
you. I know.
sweatpants and you're good to go. Or just bring them with you.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
we're hosting, so it's
Oh yeah, that's right.
it's
So you can just run up and get them and then show them off to
That's the
everybody else
best.
who still has their khakis on.
yeah. I'll wear
That's
my
the best.
Baby Yoda Christmas jammies. That's what I wear. That's what I'm wearing right now.
I love that. I love
Do
that. Yeah, we're
you
hosting our first year this year. I'm super excited.
Lindsay, I saw you did something I think you said in your reels that Sundays are your meal prep days.
Yeah.
Do you have any go-tos, things that you love, or do you try to vary it up a little or a combination of both?
Okay, great question. So yes and no. I have there are some go-tos, but I do try to switch it up because I don't like I'm not you're not gonna find my fridge stocked of like 7 days worth of a meal. I will get sick of it in 2 days.
Yes.
It won't get eaten. I can't do the microwaved chicken over and over. So I will typically meal prep for like 3 or 4 days. That'll get us by. And then do it again maybe until the weekend, and then we typically take the weekends off. But some favorites, yeah. Chia seed pudding, which I know it sounds kind of iffy, but it's delicious. Um,
No judgment.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
judgment.
right. I mean, no,
I'm a
don't knock
fan.
it until you try it. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
super high protein, super high fiber, so filling, and delicious. I mean, it's just like a protein shake that I blend with strawberries, and then I add oats and chia seeds to it, and
Oh, I
it's just
remember seeing that one. Yeah. That actually
yeah,
looked good. That looked really good.
it's very good, and it's got a really good texture, and then you can put extra fruit or granola or, put some chocolate sauce on there if it, tickles your pickle, you know what I mean? Anything like that. So anything goes. So that's one that I've repeated constantly because it's such a good breakfast. It's so filling. It takes 5 seconds to make. And that you just set them in the fridge overnight and they're ready to go. Bing, bing, boom. I always have fresh prepped fruit, and or veggies. So yeah, like fresh pineapple, fresh washed grapes, whatever, anything. I love fruit. So
Mhm.
anything like that. And then I typically will prep lunches. Lunches are a big one for us. That's a really busy time of day for us, and always when we'll tend to grab something out, like a
Hmm.
sandwich or whatever, because of, we're going here and there, whatever. So lunch is a big one for me. Any tuna salad, chicken salad are perfect. It stays in the fridge really well. You can plop it on toast, have it on a salad, have it with crackers, a croissant. It's endless. Hard boiled eggs are great to prep. You can throw them in salads, just eat them whole, whatever. They're perfect. And people think like you want to do less yolk. While that's true from a fat aspect, like the yolk is so nutrient dense. Like don't skip out on the yolk unless you are cutting for like a fitness show or something. Don't don't do that.
Yeah.
Get yourself the good fats. It's good for you. Um and so yeah, those are some ones that we repeat often. But then I'll also do like seasonal ones too. Like for summer, I'll do more of like a grilled chicken kebab type of thing, whereas like winter, fall will be more of like a soup or a stew or a roast or something in the crock pot or whatever. But the options are literally endless. Just give me some of your favorite foods and I can give you meal preps easily. And
You have
tacos,
to get a you've got to get a cookbook out there.
I'm working on it actually. I have thought about it's
Oh,
literally
really?
yeah, no, it has. Like, well, I've always wanted to speak on a podcast, so check, goal
Oh,
achieved.
nice.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Um and then yeah, I have always loved to cook. It's always been kind of big in my family. I'm teaching my kids. Um and I don't know, I think I'm one of those ones that like think that you can like give love through the kitchen and give love through feeding people, and I'm totally one of those people. Um so yeah, and then like I said, and tacos are such a good meal prep. I don't know
Oh,
why I
yeah.
didn't think of that first. That's one of my You can do breakfast, you can do lunch, you can do corn, flour, chicken, beef.
feel like tacos get a bad rap too. Like Mexican food gets a bad rap. Like
Oh my God, not
you could
in my
make
mouth.
it so healthy. Like it's insane. You know what I mean? And it doesn't. I feel like people talk about tacos the same way that they talk about pizza. It's like it's not.
No.
They're not the same thing. You know?
It
And
Maybe they're
doesn't have
thinking
to
of
be a
Taco
food
Bell
food.
and going in there all the time, but it's
Yeah,
tacos
right.
are
Well,
the
I
way to
love Taco
go.
Bell just like the rest of us. I mean, there's nothing better than just like a homemade version, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, use some Greek yogurt as your sour cream, and you're good to go. You know, it's just loading them with sour cheese that's not necessarily great for you. You know, the tortillas aren't bad, the meat isn't bad, lettuce and
No.
tomato isn't bad. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
so
That's
and
true.
I've done the Greek yogurt as sour cream for
I've
a long
never
time.
actually
I know
tried
a lot
that,
of people
but
do, but if there isn't anybody that's not put on to that yet, I'm here to put you on to the
yeah,
things.
no, I've never heard of that actually. So
Yeah,
I appreciate that one. I'll try that
of
for
course. Yeah,
sure.
it obviously you miss a little bit of like the fatty taste of sour cream, but it's so much better for you. And when you put it on a taco or something, you really can't taste the difference.
Yeah.
Unless you're, you know, like having a spoonful, you could probably taste the difference. But
I don't usually do the spoonful of sour
yeah, I
cream.
wouldn't think anybody
It's
does.
not peanut butter, but it's I get you.
That's right. Now that's like you could do the whole jar in a sitting, you know.
Yeah, no, that's true. We talked about it on the last one or the one before
yeah,
where I had to stop buying it for a little bit because a sandwich turned into like 4 scoops of peanut butter on top of it. It just wasn't working.
That's
well, there's
funny.
just so
What
many
about cookie
calories.
butter?
Well,
What do
yeah,
you get
that's
on
the
cookie
thing.
butter?
There's not as much protein as people make it out to be in peanut butter. It really, I don't know.
That's right. It's because it's so much more high fat. Your fat to protein content is not great. Um,
It's it's so calorically dense too. It's just
yeah,
it's like well nuts in general, right? It's like
Yeah, it's just so
absolutely.
good.
It is.
So
It is
good.
so good.
Melt it and
It is so
drizzle it on ice cream. Like, all right, every now and then you need that.
You
yeah, I'm a
absolutely
big
do. And I preach that. You don't have to give that up, you know?
No, definitely
You don't
not.
have
Definitely
to,
not.
nor should you, you know? But yeah, so with the peanut butter, it's like if you can find one with just like peanuts, salt, great. But when you get into the ones with the oils, that's where like it just doesn't even like taste the same. It doesn't sit in your stomach the same. The oils are just terrible. So yeah, get you one with just peanuts and salt. You don't need all the extra stuff.
No, no, you don't. So you were mentioning you love Pilates now. Is there something like another activity or like do you is there stuff the family loves to do too, like hiking or bike riding, or is your family an active family, or is it just you kind of leading the charge?
Well, it was just me kind of initially.
Yep.
um I have recently got my husband working out, which is great. I'm so happy for that. So he's been in the gym consistently for a few months now. So that's I'm super happy with that. And then yeah, a big part of my journey was um, showing my kids, you know, living a healthy life. You know, working out, and whatever that looked like to them. Like I don't push them to work out or anything. I push them to just you know have fun and be active.
Yeah.
Um, so that is a big part of my life too, is like modeling that for them, a healthy, you know, active lifestyle. But that said, my daughter was a cheerleader. She got injured, unfortunately.
Uh,
So she was into tumbling, into gymnastics, into dance, all of the components of cheer. I miss being a cheer mom. It sucks she got injured because she had to stop because she really has like back issues now, so it's unfortunate.
oh,
But I loved being a cheer mom. My little guy, he's 4. He has not sat down since he has been born, so I'm not really worried about his activity level, not just yet, anyway. Um, and then yeah, we do but that said, we always have been an active family together. We do love to hike. Like Ohio has great hiking weather. That's kind of one of the only things to do around here really. Is hike. And then yeah, my husband has a baby seat on the back of his bike, and him and my little guy, when the weather's nice, are always
oh,
going around on the
nice.
bike. I mean, it's just hilarious, like seeing them, you know,
And
hiking.
but like you said, you got to find the things you enjoy and just get out and move. And I know as we get older, our socialization changes. But I was watching the kids at recess. They don't need anything. They just run around and they make up games and they're playing in the wood chips and they just play. Like imagine
I
seeing
know.
100 adults just running around playing tag and chasing each other in a park. Like how hysterical would that be? But
It
we
would.
don't do that. That's why the kids at that age are just, I think, overall healthier, is because that's how they interact and have fun. You
And
know,
just so carefree. It's so cute, you know.
Tim.
But
Next
that
time I
said, like
see
I
you, we're playing
encourage
tag. We'll start
Yeah.
that. Do you see those guys who
it's
have
on.
the friends who have the tag game for a month?
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got to bring that in with the Health Movement podcast. We'll have a podcast tag. Everybody who's
I
been
love
on,
it.
we're just going to show up randomly. You're
That'll
in.
go
I
over
love it.
well at
I'm
the
in.
next poker night.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm in. But yeah, I think that's super important. I would encourage anybody to find like people tend to overcomplicate like fitness and nutrition. It really is simple. Like just move and eat good. You know what I mean? It really is simple. At the end of the day, people put a lot of pressure on it. But like I would challenge anybody, find something you love. It does not have to be weightlifting. It doesn't have to be on a treadmill. You know, go to the park. Go, I mean, there's so many things you can do. You know, try a club. Try you know, the rec center has so many rock climbing. Like there's so many different things you can do. And you know, you can stay fit and have fun. It doesn't have to be a grind. It doesn't have to be grueling. You know, you think bodybuilding, they're just in their day and just grunting it. Like it doesn't have to be that. You know, there's so many
No.
things you can do um, to stay fit and to stay active. You know, don't limit yourself to just thinking it has to be inside of a gym. You know, I forget the classes, but they're like suspended from the ceiling with like ropes and stuff. Like, you know, there's so many things you can do.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
you know,
aerial
it's like
yoga is.
Yeah.
aerial something.
I had a client at one of my previous jobs that was like an aerial artist like that,
Yeah.
and it was like some of the most impressive like athletic stuff that I've ever seen, and
Oh yeah.
it was incredible, you know.
And those gals are chiseled, you
Yeah.
know, chiseled. Yeah, it can literally be anything. I mean,
Well,
anything.
and for guys, like especially, you know, not just guys, but in the last 5 years, like golf has made a huge resurgence, and you don't realize like golf can be a great activity. Like it's, you know, especially if you're walking the course
Oh,
and
if you're
putting
walking,
your,
yeah, that's
you know what I
three,
mean.
4, 5 hours, depending on how
You
bad
don't
you are.
you don't necessarily have to carry your clubs. People have push carts. They even have the robotic carts and stuff now, where it's like you put the thing on your belt and the thing follows you around the golf course, like
Oh my
all
gosh.
Wait,
kinds of.
what?
Yeah, you've never seen that?
I've
Oh
never
yeah,
It's
seen that.
2024, y'all. Almost
that's pretty
2025.
Wow,
that's
I'm
pretty
feeling
wild. Yeah.
super old
That's
now.
crazy.
I mean, it's definitely not cheap either. So I think that's I think I'm kind of pigeonholed into that. I won't be seeing
Yeah,
it down at the two
maybe where we
courses.
are, they don't have that as much. That's
They don't have
cool.
it at the local muni that I play at. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
the
but
That's such a good
$12
point,
for
though.
9 holes.
well, and that's in honestly, that's funny, Lindsay, that you say that. That's how Derek and I met is through a men's league softball.
Yeah.
You know, that's it's
Nice.
and even this year, like it was just something that we look forward to. That you know, it gets the group together and gets you outside, gets you moving around, gets you running around. And we, you know, I think we've talked about it, like the average that like people our age, like people don't run max speed
No,
when, at all. You know, nobody sprints when they're over the over the age. Some
I
statistic where
think it
it's like
was
over the age of
35.
35.
Yeah.
It's like less than 5% of people like max sprint.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
why do we
ever.
need to be doing that?
Well, you got to
Right.
beat out the throw to first. You know, these softball
Yeah.
games are important.
So
I
that,
mean,
but yeah, my husband joined a curling league a
No
couple
okay.
years.
way.
Yeah, yeah.
That's odd. Wait, is it on ice or can
Yes.
you do it
Yeah.
on, I didn't
If
know you
it's
could
that's
do it on hard.
shuffleboard, Derek. That's
No,
shuffleboard.
no. I didn't know if you could change it around and they put like little wheels on the bottom, whatever that brick thing is
Yeah,
called.
no, they have like a club, Columbus Curling
That's
Yeah,
Club.
yeah.
wow.
They
Do
have
they have
one.
shirts? Like curling
So,
shirts? That would be awesome. Team
I
names and
think
everything?
so. I
All
think so.
right.
so
He didn't have one because like he wasn't in a league or whatever, but I do think they had him. Yeah, and they had like a little like You get you like a beer and nachos and stuff like while you're afterwards or whatever. Like it
There's
was a, it
there's
was a
one we have one here in Worcester, Derek, at the Worcester Ice Center. They have like a curling they have it all
Oh,
painted out on the ice and stuff. You should
we
check it
have
out.
to
I'm
we
in.
have
Let's
to
do
do
it.
that at some point. We have to. I don't know
goals.
what the
I'll have
different
him get on
positions
next
are,
time and
but
talk about it.
we could make that happen.
I want to be the guy with the broom.
Yeah,
You
that
you can
sounds
throw
like
the stone and yell.
I'll throw it and just
It was like
slide on my
hard,
knees.
hard.
Dodgeball, I think, would
Yell
be a
at people.
blast if we could get the. There are
You know
definitely
what? That's
dodgeball
like
leagues out there.
there's so many things you can
Yeah.
do. There's so many
Or
things.
like the adult kickball leagues, they have the WACA. It's the World Adult Kickball Association. It's like all over the country. It's
That's great.
so they
I'm
have them
having
all
a
over the
dumb
place.
idea here where we partake in all these different leagues and just videotape it so that we can put it out there for everyone to feel better about
Content,
themselves.
just
You
pumping
now
out the
have
content.
now you have a signature series for your podcast.
It's a good
Oh,
idea. We
that
a
would be
nice little segment we could cut away to.
yeah.
I'm here for it. That would be
Yeah,
really funny,
I
actually.
like it.
Lindsay, your husband can be our first guest on the
Let's
segment.
do it.
We can
He
videotape him
would love
curling.
to talk to you about sports and especially curling. He loves curling. It's so funny. And I'm so proud of him because he literally was like he talked about it forever. Like he was like I want to do it. I'm going to do it. He researched it. He looked it up. He went and did it. He was decent. Like he was pretty good. I mean, from what I know about curling, he was good, you know. And I mean, we have just like pictures of him with the broom. He's just like
Love that.
it's great. But he would be like for real sore afterwards. Like because you have to hold your whole body in
Well,
position
you're
to
doing
Oh,
something your body's not used to, so
That's
you're
right.
gonna feel something.
That's the
yeah, that
most
movement
activity
pattern's
he
not
had in a
natural.
long time.
Is he gonna love that you're sharing with our tens of listeners the curling love he has?
Tens of
Yes,
listeners.
yeah, because he's truly like passionate about it and loves it.
That's awesome.
And
That's
honestly,
awesome.
he's super funny, so like he would probably love to come on and like make fun of himself and talk about it because
That would be
it's
great. That would be great. You're
yeah,
gonna
it
have
was
to write up
and
a
I enjoyed
training
watching him.
program
It's
for him.
hilarious.
Yeah,
I love that. And I enjoyed watching him. It was comical.
Oh, that's got to be fun. That's got to
You
be
guys
fun.
should
But like
actually,
you
if
said,
you
find
haven't,
things you love to do, be active, and just get moving.
that's right.
Um,
I mean, curling. Did you guys know you could curl? People out there,
I
the
had no
listeners out
idea.
there, did you know you could curl for fun?
Yeah,
yeah. Derek didn't know.
I'm okay admitting things I don't know. I'm not trying to impress anybody anymore.
Well, we love that.
Learn something new every day, right? That's
That's
you're
right.
supposed to learn every day.
That's right.
Yeah. In the golf, I would back to the golf. It's like with as much as you walk and stuff like that, it's such a and with as much as you're like working your upper body and stuff like that, it's great. It's like I was just telling my husband like this could actually be a really good workout for you if you didn't like drink the whole time you were golfing.
Hmm.
Yeah, that kind of hinders it a little bit.
Yeah, it's the beer and
Hinders
the
the
hot dogs
performance
that
too.
make it not good for you, you know?
Yes.
Yeah,
There are enough
moderation.
That's
bad memes
exactly,
out there
yeah.
of people drinking too much and golfing and then what they end up doing. So you don't want to turn into one of those. We've got enough of them out there.
That's right. Yeah, no, you won't find me on the golf course. I'll be at Pilates.
Yeah,
Um,
my
Maybe in the
sister-in-law.
park or something, but
It's funny that you bring up Pilates because I was just talking to my sister-in-law over the weekend, and she's really started to get into it too. And I mean, you see the videos of like the football players and all the these big bodybuilder muscle bound athletes going into Pilates and just absolutely struggling
hmm
because it's it just put it again it's a different movement pattern. It's really core intensive and it's really focused on stability, right? So that's like those are things that I feel like if you're working on Olympic lifts, you're not really thinking about core stability and balance and all those things as much as you are in that type of environment. So it's
it's so true.
interesting to and it's diverse, like you said. You don't have to go to a studio. You can do it in your house. You can you can do it pretty much anywhere. That's a it's an activity that is definitely it. I feel like it again. you don't really think of it as front of mind for movement, but it's pretty well rounded.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like, I think that more athletes and um, performers or who have dancers, whatever, I think more people should do Pilates or some form of movement like that because it is so good for stretching, elongating your muscles, working on your bones too and joints. I don't think that's what people realize much about Pilates is that how much it helps your joints. I mean, when I started, I had hip pain that you wouldn't even believe from birth, from a rough my son's rough birth. Um, hip pain that like I couldn't even get rid of from the chiropractor. Multiple stretches and exercises, but Pilates corrected it because it was like it just gets the places it just works the places that you don't even know. You know what I mean? It's so and people like kind of I think underestimate it too because Pilates like the real heavy into Pilates people are lean. And they think like because they're lean that they're like not strong. But
Well,
some of these instructors, I'm telling you, these classes like are to the point you can't even get through them at some because they are so advanced and it's whole body stability. I mean, you'll feel it in your earlobes, you know, like it's it's wild. So I
oh,
think like recovery is a really neglected part of training. Um, you know, because we just it just kind of makes your muscles just so contracted, therefore inflamed and stuff like that. Whereas Pilates just elongates and helps so much with the tendons and the fibers and all of that stuff that you wouldn't think of while, like you said, your Olympic training or, you know, whatever. It's you don't think of those things, but it is so good for recovery as well.
Hmm.
Which is so funny. You see the football guys doing it, and it's hilarious because they're like, "Oh, you know," like, and you're like, "Yeah,
Well,
see, don't play about us Pilates girls because we are tough," you know.
yeah, like Pilates, yoga too. You know, you see a lot with yoga too, where it's a lot again core intensive, or but also at the same time focused on it's almost a recovery type of exercise, active recovery, right? So that's a big thing that we preach about recovery here is recovery day doesn't mean you just sit on the couch either. You know what I mean? So it's the kind of stuff that it can really help with being, keep getting yourself moving while you're also trying to not beat yourself up too much, so
100%. Yeah. And things like Pilates too are so good for that because it helps your mind and strengthens your mind while like working on yourself. So it's almost like a win-win. Um, it's good. It's good stuff.
well, Lindsay, thank you so much for coming. Is there anything else you wanted to end with, or how people can get in touch with you if they want to see more of your reels and everything and all your fitness stuff out there?
Yeah, that'd be great. Lindsay with an A is my Instagram handle. And then, yeah, I don't really do the TikToks or nothing like that. So,
Yeah, no, we
yeah.
don't do
yeah,
that.
we're not with that time either yet.
Yeah.
So
No, yeah, no, me neither. Yeah, so yeah, Lindsay with an A. It's Lindsay has two Y's and then there's an underscore.
Okay, I'll
Before
put
the
it
A.
in the show notes so everyone will be able to find you in there.
Yep, good deal. No, thank you guys. This has honestly been so much fun. I had a great time, great conversation. I would love to, if you ever would love to have me back, I'd love to come back.
Absolutely. When
And
you
good
get your
luck to you guys.
cookbook is out, we'll have you come back on and we'll
That
go
sounds
through that
great.
with you too.
I'm
And
more
maybe
than
we'll have the
honored.
curling expert on as
Oh
well. You
my God.
both can join us.
We would love to talk about that.
Awesome. Awesome. Well,
Thank
thank you
you
very
guys.
much, Lindsay, and thank you to everyone listening. We appreciate all of you so, so much.
happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.